Hey YouTube, it's me, Nikki, and I am here to do the rest of my makeup collection, at least the palettes, okay? Because, I mean, let's face it, it's going to take a few more videos, of course, to get all of everything else recorded. Anywho, I just got off from work, so I apologize. I look a little rough. It's kind of late at night. Life update real fast though. I have applied for a different job and I got a call back. I just had an interview yesterday. I got a call back to have another interview on Friday, so I'm pretty excited about that. So if I don't post much in the next few days, I do apologize. Oh, my chair is squeaking. So cross your fingers for me because this is a lot more money and it would be phenomenal. Anywho, I'm going to go ahead and start with Too Faced because that is where I left off in the last video. There's a ton. Oh my word. So I'm like trying to move them over here from the very back of my vanity. So sorry guys, I'm like up in your face real fast. Okay, I'm just going to briefly touch on this. I have here the Romantic Eye Palette, which is beautiful. I would suggest this if you are into like wedding makeup, date makeup, etc. Definitely a lot of fun. It has a very unique color in here called Honeymoon. Love it. Okay, here is the Too Faced Naked Eye Palette. And this is also another like wedding type of makeup eyeshadow palette, which is phenomenal. Beautiful, again, definitely for those of you who are not super bold, but you like to have a smoky eye, date night, romance, feminine and sophisticated. 2 words for that palette. Here is the Natural Eyes palette from Too Faced. It comes in a tin. Another one of those sophisticated feminine palettes. More neutrals, of course, because it is the Natural Eye. So there's that guy. And then I have the Too Faced A La Mode Eyes Sexy Saint Tropez. Another metal palette here. I really enjoy this palette. I've done a few tutorials using it, so you can check that out on my YouTube. I may have them on my blog as well. Okay, the Too Faced Cat Eyes palette. Another metal palette. I really enjoyed this except for one shade in here called Kitty Glitter, which is a silver right here. I feel like it's not that pigmented, just that shade itself, but I'm starting to wonder if it's a topper for other eyeshadows. So I will be experimenting with that. Other than that, the colors are really, really sexy. Here's one of my personal favorites. This is the Too Faced Natural at Night palette. Guys, hardly anyone is talking about this palette. Why? Why are we not like, why is there not like 200, looks using this? There needs to be, because this is just, I mean, can we look at all this metallic goodness here? Yeah, there's some mattes too, but man, it is beautiful. Like, if you tan, if you're deep skinned, girl, let me tell you, that's going to be phenomenal for your face. Okay, here is the Too Faced Country palette, another metal palette. These are gorgeous. One shade in here I didn't care for is the blue one. It is super gritty. It has glitter in it, but it's just kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not really that likable. I use it as a liner, but it kind of fails when it comes as, whenever you use it as an eyeshadow. I've tried it. The blue color takes a lot of work though. So there's that guy. Here is the Too Faced Bonjour Summer palette, and it's actually, you're gonna laugh. Here is the Summer Eye palette that's a little bit older. It comes in the cardboard. These two are nearly identical. There are 3 shades that are different, and that's it. So if I were you and you were thinking about getting one of these, do your research. If you can find it at a store, swatch them. pick out the one you would use the most, because yeah, there's only 3 shades that are different between them. So definitely do some research, pick it out. Don't waste your money on both of them. And I mean, I love these both, but I didn't realize when I got them that they're nearly identical. So there's that. I think out of those two, my favorite would be the one in the cardboard, just because I like the more shimmery metallic shades. It's a personal preference for me. Okay, now these two, this is the Chocolate Bar and the Return of Sexy. I'm going to show you guys Return of Sexy first. I was very fortunate enough to pick each one up for 20 bucks when Home Shopping Network had a coupon deal for summer. And it was definitely, both of them were worth it. A lot of people, I haven't seen much done online with this palette, and I really feel like there needs to be more tutorials. Guys, the formula is like spot on. The colors are amazing. It's a huge like glitter and shimmer fest, which is up my alley, and I use them wet. The payoff is, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. We need to have tutorials. I should do more using that. This one was kind of a miss for me. This is the Chocolate Bar. It's not a bad palette. I know a lot of people rave about it, but yeah, looks like a chocolate bar, which is awesome. I love candy, so of course that's cool. It smells amazing, but as you guys can see, I just haven't really used much of it. I noticed that a lot of these shades, even if they have different names, are in my other palettes, so I hardly touch it. The only shade that there's 2 that I can think off the top of my head, I do not already have a dupe for, and it's this shade right here and then this purple shade, which the purple shade is really pretty when used wet. However, when I did use it wet, just to show you guys, I kind of ruined it. Like, I'm like rubbing on this, and I'm not getting much color at all. So by using it wet, which is gorgeous, I ruined it. So I have to kind of scrape it off. I really don't want to do that though. But other than that, it is pretty cool. It's just not a personal fave of mine. Okay, now I'm going to move on to Urban Decay. I know a lot of people are waiting for this because I have so many palettes, a few collectors as well. I'm going to start with the Nakeds, of course. I have Naked 1. I'm going to go in order here. Naked 1. I love this palette, but I hate the packaging, and here's why. It's like velvet, and it's a lint collector like you wouldn't believe. I have taken like a damp rag. I have tried to clean it up. Lint just sticks to this. It doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Like, nope. Anywho, here are the colors. I like these, but in all honesty, I just don't use my Naked palettes much. There's only 2 that I do use, and they're the Naked Basics 1 and 2. Don't really use these that much. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so there's that guy. And then we have Naked 2. Again, you guys are going to see, you know, how not used they are and be like, what are you doing? I know a lot of people would love to have these, and I do use them from time and time again, but not maybe like once a month. That's just kind of how I roll. I don't know. It's a thing. But here is Naked 2. The colors are pretty. Don't get me wrong. I have so many eyeshadow palettes that these are just not getting used much. Naked 3. And these are pretty as well. But again, you can see how there's only 1 shade out of all 3 of these that have a dip in it, and it's Virgin. So, okay, moving on to the Naked Basics. I'm going to pull those guys out because I use these almost daily, believe it or not. At work, I try to keep my look mostly neutral. I mean, as you can see, sometimes I add a little bit of blue or a pop of color. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem going into work with bright yellow and orange eyeshadow. I've done it before. Whatever. I get a bunch of looks and people want to like hold my face still and they're like, you look like a peacock. And I'm like, ugh, get out of my face. But it is what it is. Here is the Naked Basics. just the first one. Here are the colors, and you can kind of see a dip forming a little bit in Naked 2 and Venus, so I do use those quite a bit. And then we have here Naked 2 Basics. And there's a dip forming in Skimp, actually in Skimp, Stark, and Frisk. So these first three right here. Very gentle dip, but again, you can tell I do use this one more than the others for sure. Okay. I don't even know where to start. I got a lot more Urban Decay over here. I showed you guys my my black palettes in the other video, but let's see here. What's weird is I have two different versions, and this one has a lot more glitter on the packaging than this one does. I don't know why, but it does. Anywho, they're exactly the same on the inside though. So in both of mine, I have a chip in Libertine, which is my favorite shade in this. Again, it's beautiful, but it's chipped. So I went out and got another one. And we're gonna look at this and we're gonna laugh. Yeah, it's just something in the formula, I swear, because both of my Libertines are chipped. The others are completely fine, and I'm like, what the heck? So if any of you, by chance, I don't know if they made Libertine a permanent shade at one point. It's no longer available. If you happen to have a full-size Cobra, which they discontinued and I would love to get my hands on, and a full-size Libertine, and you are not using it, I would buy it from you gladly. So please send me a message and let me know. Those are like my favorites. And there's another one, Loaded. If anyone has a full size of Loaded, which is another green shade, of course green's my favorite color, I will buy it from you. So keep that in mind. Here is the Urban Decay Sustainable Palette. I really don't know if this is made with real wood. It looks kind of like cheap, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole design is super cute. And it's on the back too, but I kind of feel like it's not really real wood. Got like a it's got like a plasticky particle board kind of feel. I don't know, it's weird. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and look at this, and I have to be very careful because my screw is kind of messed up here. So here are the colors that are in that. Super glittery. I hope I can maybe zoom in a little bit so you guys can see, or at least get a little bit close. I really like the colors a lot. Again, it is the older formula. I prefer the newer formula, but I like the chunky glitter. It's just the thing. I'm definitely bold. I'm not afraid to look crazy. If you guys didn't already know that. Doesn't hurt my feels. Okay, here is the Mariposa palette, or Mariposa. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's in a tin, which is super cool. And I still have my brush, so I'm going to hold on to that so that it doesn't go flying here. Here are the colors for that. Very, very pretty. Really, really like it. So there's that. And then here is the Deluxe palette, which I know I was asking if any of you had Loaded, Libertine, or Cobra, but also I am looking for a full size of Honey. So if anyone has the Deluxe in Honey, let me know if you're not interested in keeping it, and I would be happy to take it off your hands, because every time I try to find it, if I see that someone has it and they sell it, it's gone before I get a hold of it, which hurts my feels a little bit, kind of. But Honey's very pretty used wet, so I really do enjoy it. I believe they made some of these permanent, like Peace and possibly Graffiti and Scratch, but I'm not for certain on the others. Okay, here is the Urban Decay Dangerous palette. It's dangerous. So it comes in like a little cool case, has a zipper, and I do have like a little lip gloss in here that I never use, but I just keep it in there because it came in there. Here are the shades. I really enjoy using these wet. It's kind of a preference. The shade Loaded here is like one of my favorite all-time Urban Decay shades. I want a full size of it, so that way I don't just kind of, you know, have a palette with one empty pan and then like 5 other shades in it. But Evidence is pretty, Gravity's pretty. Actually, all of them are pretty, and I wish that they would bring this back because it's super cool. It was way too expensive, though, in my opinion, for one with 6 shades in it. But, you know, whatever. Oh, yeah, and just to show you guys, these actually, like, the palette piece pops out, guys. Yeah, so that way you have a little case that you can put stuff in. How cool is that? It's like magnetic. But yeah, that was a really, really cool idea. That way if you want to put your travel liners in here, wallet, you know, credit cards, etc. Okay, here is another older palette. This is the Ammo palette, but I think, yeah, this is the newer case for the Ammo palette. So it is super pretty. I love the colors in this thing. I had an older palette and I gave it away to my roommate at the time. I gave her a ton of makeup. She even has a Vice too. I hooked her up with because I had 2 of them. But yeah, I really like that one a lot. Okay, moving on. Here is the Electric palette. Everyone has seen this already and it is beautiful. Yeah. I can bring out my inner peacock, which is phenomenal. And here is the Vice 1. So I collect the Vice palettes. I do not have Vice 4, which I really need to get, like really, really bad, but I've just been procrastinating. I gotta be careful holding some of these up because I've had a shade in this one and another one break, and I repressed it, but I gotta be very careful. So it comes in a purple case. It has like a silver gray, like gemstone kind of Urban Decay. It's like Urban Decay initials, and it's raised up, which is kind of neat. So again, I'm gonna be very, very careful with this because Provocateur is the one that broke on me right here. So this is this palette. I love it. I love it a lot. This one's very sentimental to me. I ended up getting it 2 years after it was discontinued, but I had to have it, so I hunted it down. And I was very fierce about it. So here is Vice 2. And comes in purple packaging, which is super cute. It has the same kind of design here with the upraised like jewels. Oop. Heart attack. Okay. And there is not one that's broken. One did chip, but I lost part of it. And that is the shade Poison here, which is black with glitter in it. I enjoy this palette, as you can see. I've used a lot of it wet. Betrayal is like one of my favorites. Betrayal and Prank and Madness and Stash are like my favorite colors in this palette. I love, 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 love them. And of course, Damaged is very pretty. It reminds me a little bit of Loaded, but it's not as dark. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on to the Vice 3. Same concept, slimmer packaging. This time it just says Vice, and the Vice part is raised, and it has yellow, like gemstone kind of look to it. The gemstone itself, it's not as raised up as the others, and has like a different, I don't know, different cut to it, which is kind of interesting. So here is this guy, and it is super beautiful. I love it. As you can see, every color almost. Actually, I think, yeah, every color has been used, or at least swatched. But this is kind of like all of these are special occasion palettes, or they are tutorial palettes. For the most part. Sometimes I sneak one to work, but I try to be very careful just because I've had a few with like chipped colors, and I gotta be very careful with that. Here is the Vice LTD. Same concept. This one's actually in the thicker packaging. So Yeah, it's like the same build. Green and green. I love it. And this guy has okay, let me just go ahead. I don't mean to complain about Urban Decay. Like, I love them. Oh my gosh, I really love them. But a lot of their shadows have fallout like no other. And I don't really mind fallout so much. But what I have been doing with Urban Decay is I usually use all of the shimmery and glittery shades, and what words? Glittery shades wet. So that I have complete control over the glitter and everything instead of like having tons underneath my eyes, etc. So I love them, and I love all of the shimmery shades in this, like seriously. And even the matte shades are just to die for. But as you can see, I have used quite a few wet. So that really helps me out. So if any of you have any problems with your Urban Decay shadows, try using them wet. It's not going to ruin them. You have a better chance of ruining your Too Faced shadows than you do with Urban Decay. At least with the chocolate bar, don't use that one wet because it's a bad time. Okay, this one took me a while to get a hold of, and when I got a hold of it, I was so excited. This is the Urban Decay Loves New York City palette, and you guys are going to giggle. I don't know, because I don't want to like blind you guys. I'm going to put my hand over the mirror. It still lights up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here, I'm going to turn off one of my lamps real fast. It still lights up. How cute is that, right? It's got like a little city like landscape. It's beautiful. I like it a lot. Okay. I'm like all up in your face. Okay, so the bottom part is a drawer and it slides out. Now I do not have the things that came with it. I ended up buying this used and I sanitized it myself. I did not want any of these anyways, but I wanted the packaging and eyeshadow, obviously. And it has another loaded in here. Again, I'm trying to be very scarce when I use, or scarce. I scarcely use loaded because all I have is in palettes and I really want a single of it. But these are super pretty. I love the color selection. Oh snap, like Urban Decay's palettes, Too Faced and Urban Decay, your packaging is adorbs and I like it a lot. Okay, now this guy, I actually had 3 of these at one time, and I gave the other 2 away. I didn't even sell them, and I could have easily made like 80 bucks for selling them. I gave one of them to my roommate, Kat, I do believe at the time, and then I gave one to my friend Mercedes. Hi, Sadie. So if you guys see this, thumbs up. But tell me how much you love it. This is, I don't even remember, it's like Book of Shadows, I guess, and it has, like, almost a holographic, like, butterfly print here, which is very, very pretty. When you open it up, again, I'm going to try and cover the mirror as much as possible, but it has these, like, little 3D butterflies that pop up. How cute is that, guys? Isn't that adorable? It has a speaker, and a Get the Look card, which I've never used, and a little spot on here to put your iPhone or your cell phone, so that way you can actually, which I've never used, it's never been used, so I'm not going to really mess with that. But what you do is you take the little card that comes in it, and you scan it with your phone to get a certain look, and you put your phone in this little slot over here that folds out. And then you have this little speaker, which I'm going to open up the drawer real fast and show you guys. While you put your phone there, it comes with this little speaker, which I kind of scraped it up on accident. I didn't mean to. I actually did use it as a keychain for a little bit. But yeah, you plug this into your phone, and that way you can actually hear, and it comes with like a little... like a little headphone jack, so that way you can hear the directions as you're applying the look, which is super cute. But I went ahead and pulled out the drawer, here are the colors that came with this one. I really like a lot of these, like the two top levels here are just, two top rows are beautiful. Crystal is, I've never touched it in this palette, but I have Crystal in another palette or two. I enjoy it quite a bit. And down here, I love the selection. There's a shade here called Blue Bus, which is no longer available, and I wish it would be, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like an indigo, like a neon indigo, and in the light, it's kind of iridescent, so it's like blue with a purple shift, a very slight purple shift, and that's just beautiful. So Urban Decay, if you're watching this, please create Blue Bus again. It's beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the drawer back in here. And that is it for my Urban Decay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I have all of these palettes like around me and I need to move them so I don't hurt anything because I don't want to break any shadows. But I will have another video, of course, with, oh Lord, sleek makeup, my Kat Von D palettes, have Sugar Pill, the balm, the list goes on. So, and after that, I have over 100 eyeshadow singles to share with you guys too. So, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, if you guys want to see that other video, give me a thumbs up, let me know, encourage me to continue doing this because it is overwhelming. Like, I'm not even making that up. Like, dude, I am so not exaggerating. It's crazy. If you guys were here and looked around me, you'd be like, what? Yeah, it's crazy. So, encourage me. I need all the encouragement that I can get. Also, wish me luck. I will let you guys know if I get the job, of course. I'm so excited, and I'm nervous, and I'm excited and nervous. So it is what it is, but change of pace sometimes is good. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you guys here in a day or two with another video.